I'm very interested in the idea of not just displaced identity, but a relationship to home, what home means, and how it links to our emotions. And as a migrant especially, it's becoming more and more important to me. My name is Abdullah M. Syed, and I'm an interdisciplinary artist who believes in the power of storytelling from a cross-culture perspective. As an Australian resident, I occupy a diasporic space as a migrant with strong connections with my Pakistani Muslim heritage, culture and roots. As an international student, I remember I've always been very fond of the library. The library has always been, for me, a safe haven. When I was invited and selecting the site, when I arrived on the 7th floor, and the view through that window was spectacular. The horizon line took my breath away. It's the perfect grid, the perfect line, everything is just there. And that's where I thought that I want to combine what is out there. I want to bring this beautiful horizon line, the Sydney city, the colors, the nature, the garden, the birds, everything that I saw at that time. And I said, how can I do that? And immediately I remember one of the series of work that I'm doing called Chahār, Bāgh, which in Urdu language or in Persian language is called Chahār, Bāgh, but in Urdu language is called Bāgh, which literally translates into 4 gardens. It's a mythical garden, which is based on the ideas of a spiritual realm, but also it's the heavenly garden on earth, and it's divided into 4 square. And I thought that would be very interesting to bring that in because they are the basic. These 3 shapes are basic, every child learns. I generally use a very limited color palette as well. My color palette is also primary. In many ways, my work has a playful quality in terms of that. And at this point, I would say that if somebody would ask me to describe my artworks that I make, so I say this is excessive minimalism. It has core in minimalism, but it's excessive to a point where you can come closer, and at that time it's very minimalist, it's very few. But then as you go further, then it's become excessive. And I think murals are like that, and I love them. I love murals who can do that. Because this space is very chaotic space too, because there's elevator opening and then people are coming and going. So there are quiet moment when you're waiting for the elevator, and at that time you can ponder, you can think. And those glimmer of, gold that I talked about, the gilded gold, or a figure of a bird, or a rose there, and lotus there, and then, filled circles, you will say what it is, and then you want to come closer and inspect it. And at that time, your universal vision or the larger vision becomes smaller and smaller and smaller. And I think from there you will take that and then you will expand that again as ripple. And I think this constant expansion and contraction is very important for this work. And I think in the library setting, we also do that. We read one book, we read one chapter. It's a very close idea at that time, and you continue reading. And that's what we want people to do. And then when you read, then your imagination will open up, and then you ponder, and then you accept more ideas, and it becomes inclusive. Then you invite others, and then you respect other thinking, and then you don't disregard them. So it becomes a mutual relationship. So those ripples are not only expanding, but they're also bringing you to the center. And then we have a common ground, basically, the commonality. That's where we are heading anyway. So that's what this is all about.